That's a response to motion. Oh, is this the response to the emergency motion?
I haven't logged in yet. I was answering a.
I can't see anything about.
So is it not?
Yeah, I'll share the screen.
I was trying to log in, but I had the wrong district. I was in my South Carolina stuff.
This is about the Josh Greenstein deposition. Well, so didn't Lyman said in his crack
No,
of dawn order
816 response. Oh yeah, it's the emergency motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
anyway.
It was due by 4 p.m.
So it's not. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, so this isn't to the. I would have thought they would have taken a lot longer to respond to that. But so this is about the emergency motion, the Josh Greenstein deposition on Tuesday. Judge Lyman, didn't he? Crack of dawn before.
There's no way they thought there's no way they did that fast.
Judge Lyman woke up, and before he even got out of bed, he put an order up saying that he's going to take it under advisement. But he also made a mention that the response was due by 4:30 Eastern
today. Yeah, on a Saturday.
Yeah, 6 minutes ago. Yeah, on a Saturday. Do you want to? Should we read this or? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So. Okay, Josh Greenstein is a former executive involved in overseeing production of the film It Ends With Us, which is the subject of this litigation. The Wayfarer defendants have reason to believe.
Sorry, I can't click the. I can't click the. Sorry to interrupt, but. Where to go? KB goes, Lively's counter argument, blue jean baby, LA lady, California rule.
That is so good.
Oh, I love it. That was like
that's what screwed her up, though. That's because when she did a second amended complaint, that was with the plan. The intended plan was to keep Jed Wallace tied into New York, and I think that's what's tripped her up. Is the Wayfarer gone? Oh, New York, so California should not apply to you.
Yep. And then they got a chance to file this. But that's my absolute favorite piece of evidence in this entire lawsuit.
Me too.
I knew I was in New York because I posted this on my Instagram.
Christy says Ezra and Mike have him on speed dial.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so where was I?
Sorry, I couldn't let that slip by, and I knew I would forget it.
Josh Greenstein is the former executive involved in overseeing the production of the film It Ends With Us, which is the subject of this litigation. The Wayfarer defendants have reason to believe that Mr. Greenstein may have communicated with Blake Lively during filming of the It Ends With Us concerning her complaints about the production and Wayfarer, including the pace of the filming, the scope of her role in rewriting the script and editing the film. Her insistence that her cut of the film, rather than the director's, be released, even though Miss Lively's did not test as well. And Miss Lively's contemporaneous threats.
I love those little things.
And Miss Lively's contemporaneous threats need not to complete the film or participate in its marketing unless Sony and the Wayfarer defendants ceded to her demands. Miss Lively may also have raised concerns with Mr. Greenstein over complaints of mistreatment on the set, which is at the heart of her claims. The Wayfarer defendants understand that Mr. Greenstein made the decision to release Miss Lively's cut of the film. Oh, it was his decision. Mm-hmm. The Wayfarer defendants understand that Mr. Greenstein was and is an ally of Miss Lively and will provide testimony that supports her allegations against defendants. Given these facts, Mr. Greenstein's deposition is critical to defendants' ability to prepare their defense for trial. That's fair. Defendants noticed Mr. Green. No, defendants noticed, and there's a full stop there. And that makes no sense. Greenstein's deposition for 9 a.m. on September the 30th, 2025. Isn't that the same day as the Vanzan scheduled one?
Yeah.
That's September the 30th as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
At 10
on
a.m.
Tuesday.
Vanzan.
The date was selected after protracted negotiations with Mr. Greenstein's counsel. At Greenstein's request and for his convenience, defendants set the location at the Paramount lot where Mr. Greenstein is now employed. Greenstein's counsel recently advised that Mr. Greenstein is only available until 4:30 on September 30th, 2025, but would appear on a second day if his examination was not completed on September 30th. September 30th is the last day permitted for depositions by scheduling order. On Thursday, September 25th, 2025, Stephanie Rosa, Miss Library's counsel, confirmed that the party's time to depose Greenstein would be evenly split. At 6:17 a.m. on September the 26th, Library's counsel sent a curt email, I want to see this email, demanding that Library's examination go first because she is the plaintiff whose case will be presented first at trial. But Wayfarer noticed the deposition. Shouldn't they be going first?
I don't know, to be honest.
I'm just
She doesn't care how, she wants it now.
True. And the footnote says this, of course, is because plaintiff has the burden of proof. If plaintiff fails to meet that burden on any issue at trial, the defendant need not present any evidence on the issue or even a defense at all.
That's a favorite footnote now.
Library's
Welcome to the favorite footnote club.
Yeah. Library's counsel made the same demand for...
Annie says, not actually Golden says she's never heard of whatever Blake is going first in her whole 20 years. Interesting.
Yeah, that confused me too.
I thought it was the party that gives notice first.
Well, that was my understanding.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that not actually Golden said it's weird.
Yeah.
And that she's never seen that done before.
No, I haven't. Library's counsel
She said whoever issued the subpoena always goes first. So you're right.
Yeah, I'm right. I knew I would.
That if Wayfarer called them in, they go first.
Lively actually made that she put that argument into her own argument over her own deposition that Wayfarer will go first because they noticed the deposition. So, I don't know. She has some control issues over depositions, is what I'm taking from this.
Authorship again.
Oh, yeah. Lively's counsel made the same demand for the September deposition of Anne Carroll. Who's that? Do we know?
No.
We'll Google that person. Which was initially noticed by defendants. In the spirit of cooperation, defendants agreed only to be told that Miss Carroll had an early flight to Vancouver. At the deposition, Library's team failed to adhere to the times set for breaks, returning late to frequent periodic breaks and lunch.
She's Blake's hairstylist.
Oh, okay, great, thank you. As a result, under pressure from Carroll's counsel apparently being compensated by Lively, and with the deposition cut off looming, defendants were forced to rush through and truncate their deposition. Greenstein is a far more important witness. Accordingly, while again acting in the spirit of cooperation, defendants agreed to allow Lively's examination to take precedence on the condition that Lively complete their examination by noon, and after a short lunch break, defendants begin their examination, with Lively having any time left after defendants' questioning and the 4:30 deadline imposed by Greenstein. So there's a declaration somewhere. I'm not going to go to that. This schedule should permit both sides to complete their 3.5 hours of questioning. Defendants explained that she was unavailable at 8 a.m. due to a personal matter. Lively's facile response was that defendants' counsel could just send one of their multitude of other lawyers. This fails to note. I know. This fails to note that in contrast to the two large firms representing Lively, defendants are represented by a small firm with fewer than 20 lawyers, and that there are 3 other depositions set in this matter on the same date.
Right. Well, I wonder what the third one is, because we know one is Vanzan, which is very important.
Yeah, I don't
Even
know.
though they're going to send somebody who knows nothing about nothing. It's ridiculous.
And maybe
Lively.
split.
Sorry?
What's that?
And you said there's 3 on Tuesday?
Yeah,
There's
that's 3.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot, but it's the last day, so.
Yeah, it's the last day. Lively responded that her counsel would proceed their questioning at 8 a.m. with or without the presence of counsel representing counsel. At 4:01 p.m., Rosa served a new notice of deposition and subpoena, resetting Greenstein's deposition for 8 a.m. Should that be permitted, testimony would be taken without the presence of anyone representing defendants, and Miss Lively would have the opportunity to run the clock with multiple extended breaks, leaving defendants without any ability to fully depose a key witness friending to Lively. Lively cites authority purportedly for the notion that a plaintiff is entitled to take precedence at a deposition because the plaintiff's case in chief at trial goes first. As noted, defendants have agreed that Lively can go first, subject to assurances that defendants will have their full 3.5 hours. Moreover, the priority concerns addressed by Rule 26D are not present here, where the order of examination will not delay Greenstein's deposition. There is no concern that the defendants will jump the line by deposing a party first, and Lively has not presented a compelling reason, let alone a most obviously compelling reason, to vary priority. The amended rule is actually based on the prior Civil Rule 4 of the Southern District of New York, which provided, starting 40 days after commencement of the action, unless otherwise ordered by the court, the fact that one party is taking a deposition shall not prevent another party from doing so concurrently. That is exactly what is happening here, where the lawyers have agreed that each will have equal footing. This dispute should not have required court intervention over Miss Lively's last-minute demand that the deposition commence at 8 a.m., when both the original noticing party and Miss Lively noticed the deposition for 9 a.m. The 9 a.m. start time, with the parties' agreement to limit breaks, would leave 7.5 hours of deposition time, more than enough for 3.5 hours per side. Again, defendants have agreed to the highly unusual request that Miss Lively question Mr. Greenstein first, but cannot agree to the 8 a.m. start time. Accordingly, defendants respectfully request that the court deny Miss Lively's emergency request for an early start to Greenstein's deposition and order a 9 a.m. start time, with Miss Lively completing her examination at 12 noon to ensure that the defendants have their full 3.5 hours to fully examine Greenstein.
Mm-hmm.
God, they're bickering over everything, aren't they? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And so late to do it. So
Suella No Chill wants to be judge, jury, and executioner whilst also taking authorship. Yes.
Authorship of everything. So what are we reading? This is the latest filing. We thought that it was a response to the other motion, but this is a response about Blake's throwing a fit about the time and the order of a deposition that's going to happen on September 30th. She filed a whole emergency motion about it, and she just is demanding to get her way. And it's just ridiculous.
And in the email from Ellen, she says that originally the start time was 10, and so they agreed
it's already
to an hour earlier, 9,
Right.
and now they want 8. It's just like they're trying to make things, just more difficult, I think, for the Wayfarer parties.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I mean, Jag says, oh my God, they're asking the judge to decide start time to be an hour earlier. How is the judge not annoyed by this? Well, The judge is probably not going to get annoyed with this because it's come from Lively. If Wayfarer had asked for this, then he would be shouting at them.
Oh, he would be. And he'll probably still find a way to be annoyed by Wayfarer, even though it's he'll be like, well, why can't you just do it?
Yeah.
Someone please tell this ghastly woman no. This is why we've ended up here in the first place. Exactly. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey, what's going on? I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry, late. I can't stay for too long. We're just having some trouble over here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Glad you came.
Yeah. Did I read that correctly? Something about during the other deposition, the lawyers were pressuring them to kind of rush through, and she was. I don't know. They said compensated. I don't know if that just means she was pressuring them or what.
Yeah.
That was kind of odd.
And so they are like afraid that she's going to do that again.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
imagine how much we haven't heard of what these poor people have been through.
Yeah. Sure. Mm-hmm.
Well, we some, you know, the majority of us here have also been through it firsthand too.
Uh-huh.
That was exhausting. Just that, you know, brief few weeks.
I'm still mad that we all filed those motions for a protective order and for sanctions and stuff, and he never addressed a single one of them.
Yeah. That's true.
Just and I think he wasn't going to address it during the time she was still reusing that subpoena because he didn't want to stop her from using it, so he wasn't about to rule on it.
No.
But, it still makes me mad that there was no mention, not one word, nothing said about it. We had a right to ask him for that, and he just acted like it didn't exist.
You know, we still didn't get around to filing a complaint with the bar.
No, we didn't, because I was waiting to see what he was going to respond to that, and then at this point, we need to just get that complaint in.
Yeah,
and just mention our motions have just sat there all this time.
Yeah, exactly. Just Khaleesi says, enjoy your bathroom burritos.
Bathroom burritos?
Oh,
bathroom burritos. Where we do our hair and spray stuff all over the entire bathroom.
Yeah,
okay.
well,
I don't do any of that. So.
Well, I feel like there's been an. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like there's just been an issue with subpoenas throughout this whole case. And like with the whole Vanzan thing, like what really bothers me is I just wonder how many times they've done this before that we don't even know about.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure there is going to be a lot of times. I think that's what they're nervous about. I think they're worried that people might actually start digging into this.
Yes.
Would we even be able to find that though? Because they close them like right after they get whatever, you know, discovery evidence they want.
But they do. They're still there. There's still a record.
And there would still be a record, but you would have to know like what to look for.
Yeah,
I'm sure people looked up
on
anything more that Vanzan might have done, but we don't know how many shell companies they own.
No, exactly.
And they can do this and close a company too. I mean, who knows? I mean, if they're willing to do this kind of stuff, who knows? I just wonder how many times New York has done it.
Oh, probably quite a few. Kate Bella actually sent me this subpoena. Just while we were on the subject of world subpoenas and, you know, how many subpoenas are there. And this is a subpoena from, she's put together from Vanzan Inc., aka the basement manager, to the world's population. So that's such a good thing. You are commanded to produce the following documentation information to the above-mentioned court and the plaintiff's attorney as of yesterday. Your firstborn child, all your dogs, the home you currently live in, all of the money you will have ever made and will ever make in your lifetime, all medical records for your entire life, all your debt and credit cards. A comprehensive and detailed list of any and all of your intimate partners, including but not limited to all past, current, and future partners, along with a description of each encounter, whether it has occurred yet or not, a list of each and every time you allowed yourself to speak about anything ever, as well as the reason you believed you had the right to say words. So, and to be fair, that's what our subpoenas did actually feel like.
It did feel like that. It was insane.
It did feel like
Onto
that.
our banking and credit cards, and then that starts to involve other people. Oh, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, that was me.
That starts to involve other people, anybody that we have shared accounts with. Then what? They have access to that?
Exactly. Bruce the Moose is here.
Hey, Bruce.
Hi, Bruce. Oh, Lauren, you said hi to him a few times.
What's that?
Bruce.
Oh, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Yes, anyone you've ever
looked at.
Exactly.
Well, that's good. I try not to make eye contact with people. So.
Oh, yeah, this is a good point.
There.
This is a good point. There could be a number of Canadian shell companies. Now that's worth having a look into.
And in how many different states? I mean, we have some in California. We have New York. Wasn't there a Delaware?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what these people have been up to? And it was so funny because wasn't it not long after Vanzan became known that they hired the CIA guy, or was he already hired?
Wasn't he hired?
At any rate, I felt like he was there to cover up any kind of mischief they had in their shell companies, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Wrexham, UK too.
Well, he was hired in February of this year.
February?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was before, right?
Mm-hmm.
This might be actually. Do you know what, Cassie? This could be a good question because you did the corporate designee, didn't you, for your motion to quash?
What's that?
I said, you did the corporate designee, didn't you, for your motion to quash?
Yes.
You nominated your manager to respond.
Yeah, I actually put the person's name on my corporation. Yeah.
So in the deposition, they are supposed to identify who is representing the company. It could be one person or it could be a number of people, who work in different parts of the company. This is no more than a broom cupboard company.
I don't think they could. I think the person who's being deposed. Yeah. I think that person has to be identified.
They have to be identified. That's why Wayfarer are jumping up and down about, well, you've still not told us.
Yeah.
Well, in the declaration, it said that they named 4 of the lawyers that are going to be there. So I don't know if one of those 4 is going to be the designee or.
Yeah.
I mean, they all 4 can't be the representative.
And the thing is, if they had nothing to do with that whole transaction, that whole lawsuit, how in the world can they even be the person to be deposed? You have to have that specific information. Yeah. And I would think it needs to come like firsthand for who did it. If you weren't there, how are you going on record swearing to tell the truth about something that you only know secondhand?
Yeah, exactly.
This whole thing is just so.
Well, I think you can designate someone, and then as long as they're supposedly informed about everything they need to be informed about for the case, but it's like I don't understand how they could be, I mean,
I don't understand that because it's nothing but hearsay. If you don't have firsthand information, how are you the person designated to speak about it? I don't understand that.
Unless they have like the records, like a paper trail, which I highly doubt in this case. And also, I want to know the conversation between whoever, Lively or Reynolds, and Samantha Katz. Mm-hmm. Is it Katz or Katzy? Katz. And, why?
Both ways. I don't know.
Why did, what did they approach her with to file this Doe lawsuit, like for a breach of contract against unknown parties? And, who paid her? I mean, it just, because they're saying like Vanzan's not Lively, but it's like, okay, well then why did Lively get all the discovery from it?
And that's a huge problem, that in itself. So if Ryan is the person who takes Vanzan and goes and gets this information, he can't just hand it off to his wife for another lawsuit. That's more abusive process. So the whole thing is so problematic, and they're going to try to cover it all by saying it's attorney-client privilege.
Yeah.
But you can't just say it's all attorney-client privilege. There are things that you can say that are not covered by privilege, like who hired this attorney.
Yeah.
And yeah, but they're going to try their best to just not give information, but it's just ridiculous.
We've got a letter on the docket as well from Greenstein's lawyer.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Okay. These things never
It's so
turn out how
funny
I
they're all
want them to.
focused on this.
Yeah.
Like,
It's incredibly brief, but thank you to the chat for letting me know. We write on behalf of non-party Josh Greenstein. Mr. Greenstein is the former co-president of the Sony Pictures Entertainment Motion.
Well, you're still showing the basement
you have
manager.
you have the subpoena up.
Yeah.
Do I still have a subpoena? Oh,
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
not it.
Thank you. Why is it? Right.
That's
okay.
the other question, Daphne. Sorry, I'm so disruptive.
Hold
How
on.
did Beale get it? Like her deposition, didn't Vanzan have a copy of that somehow? And that's not supposed to be.
No, that was from an email. Oh yeah, exactly. We learned that from an email when Kevin Fritz, I guess, asked. Oh, they asked, okay, because Vanzan was trying to get out of it, saying that they could get this information from one of the parties, and Fritz is like, which party? And then one of the lawyers said, Lively, and he's like, what did he say? And he's like,
Have you got a
she mentioned it in
copy?
her deposition, and then I think he let it slip that they had read the deposition because it's under a protective order, so they're a non-party. They shouldn't have seen this, in my opinion.
No,
They shouldn't. Even if let's just say, I mean, Lively is not the current CEO of Vanzan either way. As of the 30th of June, she's not the CEO. She is the one under the party under the protective order. Ryan Reynolds is the current CEO of Vanzan. It is still, even if Lively was still the CEO, the Vanzan is a separate entity.
Yes.
So, and it is not under the rules of the protective order. So for me, it's like, oh, you're doing it again. You are circumventing
and
other
at the same
people's
time
rights.
claiming Jed Wallace. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm so disruptive.
No, it's all right. Yeah, you're circumventing other people because other people have a right to object and everything, the same as a subpoena, and they're just like riding roughshod over that again and sharing stuff, and they should not be sharing it.
No, and at the same time, they're claiming that Jed Wallace broke privilege by being a part of a conversation.
I know,
and they're doing this kind of stuff.
Oh, it's just wild. It is. It's just wild. So we got this letter from Greenstein's lawyer, incredibly brief. We write on behalf of non-party Josh Greenstein. Mr. Greenstein is a former co-president of the Sony Pictures Entertainment Motion Picture Group, such a long name. He was recently appointed to the co-chairman Paramount Pictures and vice chair Platforms. Mr. Greenstein has been subpoenaed to testify as a third party in the litigation between Blake Lively and the Wayfarer defendants in connection with his job duties while employed at Sony Pictures. Due to his new job responsibilities at Paramount, Mr. Greenstein's time is extremely limited. He has arranged his schedule to allow him to devote a full business day to a deposition between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. on September 30th. This schedule will allow for 7 hours of testimony and 90 minutes for lunch and other breaks. We do not take a position on which side should ask questions first in the deposition. Okay. So there's that.
Ryan Reynolds is unavailable to represent Vanzan due to his I Like Me tour with all his friends. Don says that's why Wayfair is waiting to get a name because they're going to just send whoever they feel like, and then it'll be too bad, so sad. Deposition time is over. Yeah, because if the 30th is the last day.
Yeah.
Oh, the feedback from Mike. So I just saw that.
Yeah, I think there's someone has like a TV or a tab open with something in the background. I don't know.
I don't have anything on mine.
I don't have any tabs open.
Well, maybe it's my computer. No, what were you saying about the Oh, so yeah, it's the last day, and then they can't, except for Lively, who has like 10 more days for Steve Sarowitz, and I think one more person.
Yeah, so those are the only exceptions, and they could do that, but they couldn't do Taylor Swift. That's why I said I swear the judge is a Swiftie, because every time they try to bring it up, and he's like, no.
I mean, so am I, to be fair. Sorry.
So am I. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that she's not like doesn't turn out to be a bad guy in all of this, but
okay, now
she has sparkles and nice outfits, and she can't be the bad person here. I'm sorry. It's all very sparkly, and she's going to be successful with her new album, and we're going to pretend that she could not possibly have done anything wrong. Okay.
Redondo Beach, welcome. Thank you. Welcome to being a member. I'm just quickly going to. And Glow Loves Books, thank you very much. Class action lawsuit for all of. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I hope that Wayfair has something big planned outside of Lyman's Court.
Gordon Reynolds. Gordon Reynolds.
Oh my gosh, is he gonna dress up like a nice pool? Is he gonna have long hair, man bun?
Oh my God, that would be so hilarious.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I hope they have something up their sleeve, Cassidy, like that's outside of this court, whether it's an appeal or some criminal charges in California or something.
I want to see Jennifer Abel file criminal charges for Stephanie getting into her phone and to Blake and Ryan for having stolen information like that.
Yeah,
I do. I want it to go criminal because this cannot happen. This is wrong. And it just makes me so furious that mainstream media has no idea that anybody did this. That you have to get on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or something like that to find out that this stuff even happened. Why are there no journalists out there that care enough about integrity and justice to report on this? Why are Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively powerful enough to stop this from coming to mainstream media? Because I had this mistaken idea about journalists from like big stories that have broken, that they were out there just dying to get a juicy big story and tell the truth of the matter. And all of that has been absolutely broken to bits because no one cares about the truth. No one's even trying to report on this.
Well, that was so funny, was that the lawyer for Vanzan, Margarita O'Donnell or Maggie O'Donnell, was like, they're filing, Wayfair is filing this for PR. And I was like, what PR? I have not read any coverage of Vanzan. And the ones that are covering this, like people like us, my video got shut down. Ashley, had her channel attacked.
And not actually Goldman had her TikToks muted.
Yes.
No, that's completely true. That's completely true.
It should be a much bigger story. I totally agree. I mean, it's absolutely, I was going to say a swear word, but it's freaking crazy. Like the Van Sham thing, it's going to become like a
that shit. I helped you. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. It's magic, because it really is. And I think this could become like a new verb, in Webster's dictionary or something, like to Van Sham something, because it's ridiculous. And I think it should get more coverage. And also, I think you said the criminal case in California, and I think to add to that, I feel that Stephanie Jones also did, was the one who possibly illegally recorded Steve Sarowitz.
Oh, I wonder. Oh, Christina, if you've got to go, just don't feel like you have to be there. You're getting girls. I'm coming.
Don't you go anywhere, Christina.
More important. No, we're doing some good cop, bad cop here.
So I gotta go. We gotta put a mount up, and I gotta put together a desk. So, well, I'm not doing it by myself. So, but I'll probably just sit there. All right, thanks. Sorry I couldn't stay long.
No, thank you for coming, Lauren.
Thank you, Lauren.
See you later.
See you later. And Christina, honestly, thank you as well. Don't feel you have to stay. Really appreciate you. It's not like we have a completely crazy chat anyway. Really, we have generally people here. So
Yeah.
and we got the lovely Haley.
Yeah.
At the Beach said that she was unsubscribed to me. That's what people keep saying. Like that
That
YouTube.
happened. Yeah, that happened to me with Bushbirds too.
Wow.
And I've been subscribed to them for a long time. Yeah.
I'm not a bot. We definitely no Nightbot. I seen the chaos that ensued in Ashley's chat with Nightbot. No, that was so. Did anyone else see that? That was it kept like, it kept telling the even the moderators, like if they tried to put links or something, it was like, you can't do that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Michelle, Nightbot is cray cray. You actually had to boot Nightbot from her lives. That was so funny. That was so funny. Is Wrathful here? I can see people.
I don't see.
I can see. Hi, Wrathful. Right, so I've got some slides anyway. We put together some slides on.
Oh, Taylor's at Selena's wedding.
Oh,
Oh,
is she?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's getting married this
I forgot about
this
that.
weekend. Blake's not there though.
No.
Wait, Taylor's at whose wedding?
At Selena Gomez's wedding. She's getting married this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Selena fan too.
Oh, I love Selena. Do you know what? I'm currently watching her in Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, isn't that good?
That is so good.
Love
I love it. Every Tuesday I'm like, oh, where's the next episode? I really love it. I do. And I like the duo of Martin Short and Steve Martin. They're just so funny. Fantastic. If no one watches that, they really need to see it because it is such a good.
It's its 5th season. And every season is really, really good.
It's really good.
Meryl Streep, I was so thrilled. I just adore her.
I know. And they've had some huge names in that as well. They had like Paul Rudd and Nathan Lane and just loads of really quite big names.
Tina Fey.
There is Renée Zellweger as well in this one.
Oh yeah, in this one.
And I was like, oh my god, I am not used to listening to Renée Zellweger with an American accent. I know she's American, but I only really know her for Bridget Jones.
Yeah, or Beatrix Potter. I loved her in Beatrix.
Yeah. Oh, I did like her there. But she does such a convincing British accent. She actually sounds better British than she does American. Yeah. So we have got some slides. These are just things I've knocked together. They're not the greatest. So but can people see that? Can you see them?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Oh, Glow Loves Books. Thank you. Selena hates Blake, so no invite for Miss Authorship. Yep. That's
Selena tried to make Taylor see for years, apparently.
Yeah.
That Blake was no good. But I do wonder with how busy Taylor's life is, how close they actually were. I know they went to dinners, they went to parties, but I wonder how much they actually knew each other.
Yeah, well, speaking of Vanzan, I mean, the only transaction allegedly that people can find on Vanzan is that purchasing furniture for Taylor Swift's music video that Lively, directed or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, so she's connected, and it's so unfortunate because I know I love Swift and I do feel bad for her. But it's she's connected to Vanzan, and then now with this whole lawsuit and Lively using her name but whatever's happening in the press is so I just feel like they always still throw Wayfarer under the bus,
they do.
Press team.
And I feel like Taylor Swift's spokespeople have come out and made statements to try to refute, but she's not going to come out and go, I hate Blake, she's awful, she's lying.
Yeah.
But they've put things out there to try to refute it, but Blake just steamrolls right over it.
I don't feel like she has to publicly declare that she doesn't like Blake Lively. I think the fact that she does not associate with her is good enough.
And why the rest of the Swifties can't understand that, I get so upset. I'm like, how are you guys this dense?
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
Do you really think she's this bad of a friend if this was her friend and she's not going to support her to save her own skin, that's not who you know this woman to be. Why do you think that's what's happening? Because they're all like, oh no, they're still friends. She's just laying low so that she doesn't get pulled into this. I'm like, do you really think she's that bad of a friend? If she was still her friend, she would not do this. Anyway.
And Blake's cornucopia of bullshit says, she blamed Blake for a dude jumping her fence, not Justin Blake. I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
Thankfully, after the other articles where it said like the giveaway was where it said like Baldoni was trying to serve her papers. Anytime it says Baldoni and not Wayfair, it's like you already know that it could be from Blake's camp.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys something quickly? Haley has said she doesn't see Glow's comment. Can everyone see that comment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw it in the chat too.
Oh, it's okay. Maybe I took it down quickly or something. I don't know, but yeah. Thank you, Glow Loves Books. Okay.
And sometimes if you're like if people are on a delay,
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Sometimes like if your internet cuts out or something, like you could be like a few seconds behind and miss something.
So we've obviously got a bit of a timeline of what happened here. So 27th of September 2024, Vanzan Inc., the New York, because there's a California entity as well, which was registered in Delaware. That is in the name of Blake Reynolds. I think Vanzan Inc., the New York one, started there. And I'll get
the
to
New
that.
York one is registered in New York. It was formed in New York and registered in New York.
Yeah, but I think it was originally incorporated with a certificate of assumed name. Like they had an incorporation company come in and incorporate it, but you still have to have a certificate of assumed name. So I still think there will be Blake Reynolds on that. I think there's still a paper trail that leads back to Blake Reynolds. So Vanzan Inc., New York company led by Blake Lively, files a secretive lawsuit in Manhattan Supreme Court under the cover of darkness. I get dramatic.
You're some music.
I know. I feel like the dun from Law
and Order.
Yeah, I feel like I need that right now.
Yeah. Can you? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting again. Can you put Michelle's up? I can't put any of the comments up here.
Michelle,
but I want to get that out there for Ashley because Ashley's really going through it.
That she's been silenced and suppressed. Because it's like at mine's 2:17, so I don't know for Leanne, maybe 11:17.
No, it's still 10.
Oh, you can't see it?
Hold on, I'm just
It says, did you know Ashley's videos have been getting suppressed, silenced, or whatever for the last few days? So annoying.
Yes, go and support Ashley, definitely. Go and support the goats and the chickens.
Because her channel supports her farm and she rescues animals. So it's really important. It's sickening that powerful people are harming. I hate to see that. I hate to see that so bad.
And I admire her courage as well, because I mean she's covering Blake Lively quite intensively, especially from the SEO and PR side. But she's also doing the Charlie Kirk story, which is some people like it, some people don't. I agree with her that it's a story that needs covered, whether no matter what your feelings are. But because of that, her channel is being suppressed, isn't it? So, and that's just not right.
Yeah, she's brave to cover that. I had put a post, and to be honest, I didn't even know who the man was. But my point of the post was that this is why it can be so dangerous for people like content creators, because we put our personal beliefs out there, like our opinions out there, and people can be killed for having a different opinion than someone else. That was my whole thing. I'm like, I'm not into this for the politics. I don't even know what his beliefs are. I didn't even know who the guy was. But I posted that, and it was like 50 people unfollowed immediately. And I
Wow.
finally just took it down, because even though I'd asked for no political comments, they were still coming in. And I'm like, you know what? This isn't even what I talk about. This isn't worth it. And I took it down.
Yeah.
But
just
so,
a side note,
she's brave to proceed with this, because it is so hot. Like I just like, I mean, after, because I'm not a really strong emotionally strong person. And I had heard that someone had gotten shot live, and the video that I was sent to notify me about it was like far away. You couldn't see anything graphic. And then once it happened, the person that was filming, the phone started flying, and they're like, "We got to get out of here." And so I was watching the story to see, is he going to die? And, is he going to survive this or not? Because I'd only seen it from far off. And so I have X open, and you know how they just like autoplay stuff. So this next video comes on, and it was up close and so graphic, and it showed everything. And it was like too much for me. I have a hard time with a movie that I know is fake, but like this was somebody actually losing their life right in front of my eyes. And I have to say, it messed me up really bad. And I mean, I was shut down for a while. If you notice, this month, I didn't do videos for a long time, because it was just like on top of everything else. Just seeing like someone's life leave their body was, because I do believe he was gone before they even got him out of there. But
absolutely, he was.
It was too much for me. I never wanted to see that happen. And yes, there was no warning, and it was so cruel to put that out there, and you're not expecting to see it. And yeah, it did. It shut me down. I was shut down because, I don't talk about my personal life a lot, or at all, really. But I have some really, really heavy things. So to me, social media and coming here is my escape after a difficult day. I want to come here and I want to just blow off steam, and I want to laugh, and I want to feel like I'm making a difference for somebody's justice, and then end my day with something like that. So the last thing I want to do is come to social media and have something more dark or more emotional or more difficult to deal with. That's not what I come here for. So, that was like, I don't even want to open X. I don't want to, for days after seeing that, I was afraid I was going to see it again. And yeah, for people who post that kind of stuff, don't do that.
Yeah, and it's just crazy that doesn't get censored, but like, you post like a Vanzan filing document and it'll get you censored.
Oh, guys,
Like,
seriously, once someone commented on my left me a comment on one of my posts, and I looked at it was like a GIF or something, like, oh, warning, sensitive comment, and they'd obscured it. So I clicked it, and it was just, that GIF of SpongeBob doing a rainbow with his hands.
oh my God.
It was literally that. But, if I want to go and see a Charlie Kirk video of him being graphically shot,
I would look it up.
No warning, no nothing. And it's, in fact, 9 times out of 10, it's there whether I want it or not. It was just, that's crazy.
And just like a side note for people, like on X, you can go, there's like something in your settings where you can go and type in like words that you don't want to see on your timeline. Because there was like a point where like I felt like I was getting bombarded by Kardashian stuff, and I was like, and I put it in there. I was like, I don't want to see anything else has to do with Kardashians. Like, I'm here for like legal cases and trials and the animal stuff, and like, why are they coming on my feed? And it took like several, different hashtags or whatever to put in there, but you can do that. So just if like that Charlie Kirk content or whatever still coming out, you can do that. And I just also want to point out, Christina is an amazing moderator. Thank you, Christina. She says that in this chat, she says, so this chat cannot see what the other chats are saying. So she's like, because Cassidy, Leanne, and DFJ are all live, that's why some people, you won't see stuff. If you're in one, like if someone says something from Cassidy's chat, if you're in Leanne's chat, you might not see it unless it's pulled up on the screen. So thank you, Christina, for being the voice of reason.
Christina has posted a link to Ashley's YouTube. Haley has posted a link to Ashley's goat cam. Go and check out the goat cam. I love the goat cam.
Goats are so funny.
They're just my little happy
sorry. I'm sorry for your son. That's exactly how I felt. I'm like, I saw it and I can't unsee it. And my brain kept replaying because I kind of like think in pictures and video. My imagination is very, very vivid. And it just kept replaying it. And like it was like a channel in the back of my head that I couldn't turn off, even though I wanted to. Like sometimes that's how things that are bothering me play in my head. They're like a series of TVs that are all playing at the same time, and you can't change the channel and you can't turn them down, and they just play nonstop, and you have to like find a way to drown it out. And that's how it was. And it was, and the same day, the girl Irina from
yes.
Ukraine, I had seen videos of that as well, and it's the same exact day, but before Charlie Kirk. So I had seen like in the bus, and it always stopped it right when he stood up to attack her.
Yeah.
And it would be stopped. And on that day, for some reason, it kept going, and it completely caught me off guard because I didn't expect to see it, because it always had stopped it before. I thought stuff like that was blocked from coming through on social media. But so I saw her, the same thing. So I saw two people lose their lives that day, and it was just too much.
That was really awful. That was such a shame.
She's such a tiny little thing, you know.
No, it was sad to see no one helping her.
No one helped her.
I will say,
for a minute and a half.
No, I know,
because you have to think like that. What's that guy's name? Penny. Something. Penny from in New York, when he tried helping someone, like he ended up the DA charged him, and he had to go to trial, and it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And so, and Megyn Kelly did a really good segment on the Arena case, and she got the footage, and she said, we're going to watch the whole thing, because she's like, we need to put an end to this, because the guy who did it had been like in and out of jail or arrested like so many times, and at some point we have to be like, you can't come back into society anymore. Like you've had enough chances, you've done enough harm, and it's just setting people up for this. So to turn it into a positive, like I think I'm very, very sorry that you had to see all that stuff, and that's very unfortunate. And just to hopefully turn this on a positive, like I think like this community is very awesome. And so like when I go on my feed, I try to go to like people I follow, so I can just see stuff that I want to see, and nothing like fed to me. And I love everyone who Team Truth is like the best. And you guys make my day all the time, all the gifts, all the memes, just all the funny comments. It kills me. I love it. So thank you.
The good that came out of that. See, there's a thing that I think a lot of people are not aware of. I learned about it when I was diving into the stuff that goes on in South Carolina, that the magistrate judges there, they don't have to be attorneys. They don't have to have much. Yes, it's insane. And this happened in North Carolina, so they have the same setup there, obviously. This woman that was the magistrate judge, she was not an attorney. She did not have a background in law. She had a background in law enforcement, and somehow that qualifies. But how I heard about this is that there is a lot of corruption in South Carolina, and that's what I used to report on. And there is a representative. He is a lawyer legislator. And these people are, without getting too much in a soapbox, I'll try to keep it short. These people are the bane of society in South Carolina. So what they are is they're attorneys, but then they take on positions in the Senate or in the House of Representatives. So they are what's called lawyer legislators. They get voted in by their fellow attorneys. They get these positions, and then a lot of them, they feel like they owe favors to the attorneys that helps them get those positions. And so they grant favors, and it's a mess. So I have talked a lot about lawyer legislators there because they're a disaster. But there was this one guy that they specifically put them on a lawsuit just so they can slow it down. Because during times of sessions, that's like 6 months or however many months out of the year it is, they are immune from having to go to trial. So if you get one of these guys on your team, you can procrastinate for years. So this one representative, Todd, oh my gosh, now his name is gone. I can only see his face. So he is on one of the cases that I cover And that's what he does. He appears and he's like, oh, can't, sorry, I'm in sessions, and just makes it drag on and on and on. So he as a scumbag, he had this beautiful wife, gorgeous wife, had a couple of kids. Their teen babysitter. She's like Miss Teen something. She's their babysitter. She like works for the family. He ends up having an affair with her, leaves his wife, marries this woman. He's used the state's money to fly this woman around and like have these vacations. They're married now. And he tried to set her as a magistrate judge. It didn't go through, but that's how it is there.
His
You can
babysitter?
just what's that?
He tried to make his babysitter a judge?
Yeah, his babysitter mistress who became his wife.
Oh my God.
He tried to put her in the position of magistrate, but it didn't go through. But yeah, so you don't have to have any kind of legal background. And so this woman who had overseen the guy who murdered the Ukraine woman, she had kept letting him out. Well, it turns
That's
out
who it was?
Yes. Well, it
Oh
wasn't.
my God.
Not the babysitter. It's not the babysitter.
Oh,
This
okay,
is North Carolina. But what I'm saying is they have the same thing. You can have these magistrate judges appointed, and this particular one, not the babysitter, the one who oversaw this man who killed the woman on the train. So she was a magistrate that was not an attorney. She had some background in law enforcement and was made a magistrate judge. She'd had him through like 11 times, but she owned this company that was supposed to be for like rehabilitating people.
Oh, there you go.
So she would take these people, let them free, and they would go through her company. So she'd make money off of them, supposedly rehabilitating them. And they would just like cycle. And it's like she was a judge so that she could filter people into this company. It's a whole big mess. So it all is getting exposed now. And I believe she's losing her judgeship. But yeah, there are some states where there are magistrate judges who do not have legal backgrounds at all.
Okay, now I need to look up California because now you're just like totally sent me down this rabbit hole because in California, I've been talking about how terrible the magistrate judges have been and like all the side things I've gone on in this case. Like we actually had the same magistrate judge for 2 different subpoenas in this case. One for the one Friedman's law firm, and then he also somehow got the one for the private like investigation company. And then the magistrate judge that oversaw the Jones versus Meta was so bad he didn't even realize
that never have let that go through.
Yeah, he didn't even realize that the users didn't post anything. Only the website had things posted, and they already knew who that was registered to. So these anonymous users never posted anything, and so he was so terrible, and it made me think. Like I had a whole video. I was like, these magistrate judges in California absolutely suck. So now I'm wondering if it's the same kind of thing you're talking about.
Yeah, I would look into who they are and what their background is. I don't know about California. I've never really dove much into California for anything other than a few things for this case. But I know that that's the way it is in South Carolina and apparently North Carolina as well. So
wow,
I don't know
amazing.
how to do that.
I'm just quickly gonna just send a thanks to KKB. Huge thanks, thank you. I just want to say thank you, ladies, for all your hard work on this case. I appreciate being able to visit each of your channels for a unique take on the docket items, and I learned something new from each one of you. Much love and keep up the amazing work. That is beautiful. I love it when it's nice messages. I also want to get to quickly Eliza. I did a live stream. I want to say it was it yesterday? Was it the 26th? Yeah, yesterday. And Eliza sent a super chat. Super chat to say thank you. Right at the end, but I had already kind of left, and I didn't see it. But Christina sent it to me. So I just want to say thank you, Eliza, very much. I'm sorry I didn't see it, but I did get it. Thank you.
Stephanie Jones shoplifts. What?
I believe that.
There's this whole crazy thing. I think people are saying, you know, she shoplifts in her Birkin bag, and someone has to give me the reference, because like I'm all over the Stephanie Jones stuff, and I never came across that. So if anyone knows where that originated from, please let me know.
Is that a link? Did somebody put a link? Sorry, I can't put anybody's comments up on the screen.
I will go. Like, if you find a comment, I can put it up for you. House of Chatter asks, what if she never signed her contract? I'm assuming that we're talking about the nudity rider here, and it really doesn't matter, because she performed the service, she was paid for the service, so there's like implied agreement.
Yeah.
I think in America you've got another term. I've heard not actually Golden use a different term, but in the UK it would be like implied agreement. So if you have contracts that you don't sign, if both parties then perform the duties of the contract, you don't. The fact that it's not signed really does not matter.
Yeah.
Well, she shoplifts discovery, in my opinion.
She definitely did that.
Phones, iCloud.
Yeah, if she delivered it to Blake in her Birkin, it could have happened.
Yeah. So the target of Vanzan, the suit targeted 10 unnamed does with deliberately vague allegations of harming Vanzan's business and reputation. A legal phantom chase.
Mm-hmm.
I really did get dramatic when I was writing this. Strategic anonymity. No named defendants, no direct mention of Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds. Meticulously designed to fly under the radar of opposing counsel. And let's face it, it did. It did. No one knew about it. They got the stuff, and Friedman didn't hear about it until, was it 5 months after the lawsuit was filed?
Yeah. And then Jennifer Abel found out that she was still accessing her cloud in January, and the lawsuit had already begun. So no doubt she got attorney-client privileged information.
Yeah, exactly. KKB, yeah, exactly. Implied consent to enter into the contract since she did the work and received the wages. And that's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
So the purpose behind the veil, primary objective, the lawsuit's main goal was to obtain subpoena power to seize private communications without alerting opposing parties, a legal ambush in the making. Swift action.
And that's an absolute abusive process.
Oh, absolutely it was. Swift action, just 4 days. Just 4 days, right? When you think about how quick it was to get a subpoena out, we're still seeing subpoenas coming out, you know, months and months into this. But just 4 days after filing, a subpoena was issued to Stephanie Jones, the publicist, demanding documents that related to Lively, Reynolds, and Baldoni. A secret victory. This maneuver allowed Lively's team to access potentially damaging text secretly. A coup achieved through legal sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny.
Jumping into show love real quick for Vanzan Day. Love you all. Headed out shortly. Oh, lovely. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Hi, Millennial. Right. Next slide. A lawsuit without names, the cloak of secrecy. Court documents reveal the extent of anonymity employed to mask the true nature of this legal maneuver.
And the whole thing about a Doe lawsuit is that it's filed in order to find the identity of the person. That's supposed to be the first move.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to immediately fill in the names of the people. So the whole way that she used this to get a subpoena was, it's not what a Doe lawsuit's for.
No, absolutely not. And you did a big deep dive. Hey, Lara. You did a big, like a video going into that quite deep, actually, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. I did a few on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
I
did.
get so upset that more people don't talk about it and that some people actually condoned it.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. And I'm so glad that it's finally being pushed to the front and they're going to have to eat their words.
Yeah, I want to say, like, Cassidy has been talking about this since the beginning better than anyone else, I feel.
Yeah.
And has been explaining to everyone. I mean, Cassidy, you did so good. You like really looked into the law and like, you know, because some people they don't understand. Like in a Doe lawsuit, if you do a subpoena, the judge you have to have the judge sign off on it, and then because
Yes.
then you add the
Yes.
name. And they didn't add the name. They closed it. So like, I mean, you went so combed through that law so well that like I feel like I know it so good now, and thanks to you because like you taught it to me, and so I get so excited. Like when I saw it in what was that? Was it the what was the last thing that we saw with Kevin Fritz had said the 1, 2, 3, 4? I don't know, but I just remember it was number 9 on whatever that filing was, where he said I think it was for the deposition where it said how they never called a judge in to sign off on the subpoena.
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
this is the big one.
Yep. That I've been saying all by myself for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
So
so
good job.
a judge was not assigned to this at all.
Yeah. And it has to be for a Doe because somebody has to be there to represent the other side. And if it's a Doe, obviously you don't know who the other side is yet. So they don't have representation. So you can't just turn loose and do what you want. So all of these people that have been saying, oh, well, attorneys can write their own subpoenas. Once discovery has started, and when does discovery start? After opposing counsel has come, they have met. There's someone there making sure that the subpoenas that go out are correct and not overly broad and don't trample all over somebody's rights. So in a Doe lawsuit, it's not like any other lawsuit. There isn't opposing counsel. So you have to take this to the judge. And you have to prove your case to the judge. That's why we have so many cases of some being granted and some being denied. Why would only some people have to go before a judge and risk getting denied? If you could just skip the judge, why would any of those cases exist if you didn't have to do that?
Well,
if you didn't have to do that, nobody would.
The judicial overview is to avoid these kind of abusive processes in the first place.
Exactly.
Well, and it's
This
so
would
funny.
not have happened if a judge, even Lyman, had been assigned.
Do you guys know Judge Liz from the Parkland trial?
Yeah.
Oh, and she's now, you know, she's retired, but she did some commentary on this case. And I remember I think it was Ask Two Lawyers was explaining to her about like Van Sham, and like everything they said kept shocking her. Like every other sentence, she's like, they did what? And then because I guess in Florida you can't do that. Like you can't, lawyers just can't issue subpoenas. I guess a judge has to sign off on like any subpoena there. Which I mean, I don't really totally understand it, but she was like in shock, and she said that the Wayfair lawyers, like they should ask for these Manat lawyers to step down from the case going forward because she thinks it's like such a violation.
They could and should be removed. The entire firm could be removed for this. It's that bad, and I'm shocked that because Judge Lyman knows that this happened. It's been brought to his attention. He knows this happened. He can't move on it until he's asked to, but he should be having that in the back of his head at all times with everything that comes through. And it's just to me another reason to not like this guy.
Because on top of the list of many.
Yeah, along with a list of many. And can I also say that I told everybody how bad this judge was a long time ago when people were shocked and talking bad about me for saying something about a judge and saying I was ridiculous. And now where are we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me too, though. I just want to say I have there was just too many red flags in my opinion. And what I can't get over is that I feel like he keeps telling Lively's team how to lawyer. Like he keeps telling them what to do and holding their hand, like as if they're pro se lawyers or something.
Yes, he is lawyering for them so many times. And this latest stunt of telling Vanzan of all people,
oh my God,
that they can ask for attorney's fees. Every attorney knows that they have the right to ask. Why is he saying that? That was almost like an invitation.
Yeah, it's because her lawyers have asked for attorney's fees like every time they, this isn't, well, I mean, I guess it's Vanzan's lawyers, this, whatever.
But to have a judge say that?
Yes, exactly.
And of all people, to the Vanzan people, the Vanzan judges, or attorneys.
Yeah.
Of all people, he says that to them. Like, they deserve Wayfarer's money?
I know.
Oh,
It sent me too. And then someone commented on my post about that, and they're like, "Oh, it's totally normal, for a judge to tell the the party that they can file for fees." I was like, "Isn't
no, because they all know that."
Yeah, exactly. And they didn't even ask for
No.
fees. Versus, like, I feel like Lively side has always, asked for fees. I mean, they still have Rule 11 sanctions on the docket, and I just feel like every other filing for them, they're like complaining about something and asking for sanctions or fees, and so they know. So it's just, that was so weird to me. It was like, he was like, was that like a message from him being like, don't try to come for Vanzan or something? I don't get it.
That's what I wonder. That's what I wonder. It's so bizarre.
Or is he just that incompetent, and like all of a sudden he was like decided to mention that? I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I went from feeling like, well, I don't know that I want to say that full out. So I went from feeling like he should have recused himself because he did not disclose things that he should disclose, and then especially finding out that there was already an article written about him not disclosing things or not recusing himself 13 times that he should have, and this was like 2021 or something. I can't remember. It was a couple years ago. Yeah. So, and now he's still doing it, and but my opinion of him lately has even dramatically gotten worse. I don't even want to say what I think is happening now, but yeah, it's bad.
I agree. And did you know that his dad was a big time Hollywood lawyer? Like, he was the attorney for Warner Warner Brothers. Yes, like, because someone had told that to me
on X. I saw it.
Yeah, and I was like, how did that fly over my head? Because I was aware of his brother, but not his dad. And that was like, kind of opened my eyes, because he did work for his dad's firm for like at least 2 years. And even though we don't really know on what. And so I'm just like, and then Doug Lyman admits that, he would share Steven Spielberg's airplane, like, with him, like to hop to get rides to LA. And I was like, okay, well, maybe that's just what Doug did, has nothing to do with, Lewis, the judge. But I'm just like, there just seems like he has a huge bias, or he's so incompetent. And so I don't know which one it is. I don't know. And then the money, of course, the money that you discover, that you've like exposed to great lengths. And I think that is like, that red flags everywhere.
And oh yeah, it drives me crazy. Yeah, Irma, she says one sentence in her deposition, she should have been called in again to speak about Vanzan Sham. I couldn't believe that when it said that there's only one sentence in Blake's whole deposition about Vanzan.
I think like Ezra probably just, because objected the whole time. Like we saw in Judd Wallace's filing with that released portion, where it's like every other sentence, Ezra's like, she objects or, to something. And so maybe they just said she's not talking.
Yeah, it may have been like she may have claimed privilege, and that's the only sentence. So
we got a few questions here.
All right, I'm gonna run real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Good. Yep. So Daphne's Live asks, what is the breach of contract claim that Vanzan claimed against these Jane Does? I haven't got it in front of me, but it was a non-existent claim. So it was just a made-up claim.
Well, I'm pretty sure also it was something about smear campaign or something.
Yeah, and so like smear campaign, yeah.
But what wasn't in there, and nothing about SH in this Vanzan lawsuit. So that's just a little interesting.
Yeah. What was the contract between Vanzan and Jones that was violated? There wasn't one. There wasn't one. If we're talking about the, what was the breach of contract that triggered the lawsuit, that was a fake contract.
But lawyers admitted to doing this, and they didn't necessarily say sham, but they just said it's a discovery tool. So it's like, to file this fake lawsuit against unknown parties to get discovery without the other parties noticing. That's just a normal discovery tool. It's like, I want your whole firm investigated.
Yeah.
It's like, these are terrible practices. What are they doing?
Oh, yes, I completely agree. KKB asks, has the subpoena actually been made available for the public to see exactly what was asked from Jones Read the Does? So we're talking about the Vanzan subpoena. It's in the filings. It was an exhibit in yesterday's filings, but it is under seal. So hopefully that will be unsealed soon, and we should see it.
Yeah, I was so excited to see it there. I was wishing it was.
No. It is so exciting. And they had a bit of Blake's transcript from her deposition. All fun. As a chat, the fact that she's asking to go first, could she be trying to get evidence of what story to craft hers? No, I don't know. I don't think so. I think she's just trying to waste the time that Wayfarer have to depose this person.
Exactly, because they said that she did this. She's done this before. When she goes first, waste time. They take breaks. They come back late from lunch, and it forces Wayfarer to be rushed. And so Wayfarer's like, we noticed this party first, so we are questioning him first.
Yeah. Virginia Adler, do you think the designee would be Samantha Katz? That's possible.
That's who I thought it would be too, but I don't know if they're even going to do that. Because they gave 4 names of 4 lawyers that are going to be there, because like Fritz wanted out the names for security purposes. So they gave like 4 lawyers' names. And so I don't know if like one person is going to have all 4 of those lawyers, or if one of those 4 lawyers is going to be the designee.
If it's going to be the lawyers, they're going to be sitting there and everything will be, it's attorney-client privilege.
Mm-hmm. That's
what's going to happen there. And I can see them doing that anyway, because it's the run-up to litigation. However, there are things that they can still ask, Wayfarer can still ask about, and they can still ask for, like, what contract was breached?
Mm-hmm.
Have you got a copy of it?
And how did you know to go to Jones first?
And how did you specifically know about the information? Because the subpoena allegedly says data extracted from I nearly said mobile phone, but cell phone. So how was the subpoena worded to know that the data had already been extracted?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I'm Not a Bot says that not actually Golden said it cannot be one of the lawyers because they are bound by client privilege.
Yeah.
So who can it be?
But their client, aren't they just saying their client is Ryan Reynolds from Vanzan? Because they're trying to say Lively is not Vanzan anymore.
She had to be at the start, because to have that amount of control over a corporation to be able to initiate a lawsuit, you have to have some kind of authority.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to have had some high level position in the company at some point.
Yeah. So there's a question, can Ryan be the designee and claim spousal privilege? I put that question to Little Girl Attorney on YouTube, and she said she was going to talk about that later. I don't know if she has yet. I know they were going live today together, not actually Golden and Little Girl Attorney. I was assuming it's on TikTok. I don't have the actual app, but I did make an account just to secure my handle on there. And I don't really use it, but I tried to find it, and it was telling me that, and I had all these messages. So if anybody's messaging me there, I don't use that often. And a lot of the messages, when I clicked on them, it said that TikTok doesn't support.
Okay, so NAG is posting it on YouTube, so it will be on Not Actually Golden's YouTube if anyone's interested. But someone said NAG thinks it has to be Ryan Reynolds. Fingers crossed, she's right. I know that's what it seems like.
It seems like it has to be.
I can't see who else it would be, to be honest, unless it's Blake Lively.
Or they designate someone else. Like they could just designate someone and have them. I don't know. Just I honestly, they've had so long to think about this. So, like I would assume that they have a plan, something. But it just seems like they're being really strange about not giving the name to to Wayfair. So that's kind of, I don't know if that's a red flag or if that's deliberate or what.
Rachel's a judge, by the way. Rachel's not.
I'll put this up because I wanted to agree. I really enjoyed watching Rachel Juarez talking to Omar, especially after the motion to dismiss decision.
I was so happy with that.
She was so good. Could it be Blake Lively's brother? Didn't he have something to do with a company?
Yeah, but that was terrible.
Antebellum company.
Yes,
that was awful. Didn't he have an affair with one of the employees or something?
Yeah, and it was in like a studio with a bedroom in the or a bed in the middle, and he would like sleep in and not let employees in. All allegedly. I don't think it would be him. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I don't think it would be him. I think it would have to be, because there had to be a reason they put Ryan as the CEO, right? Like that was the day before Discovery closed, and I don't know. I don't understand the reasoning for doing that unless it was so that he could, be the one to speak on it. I have no idea. I'm actually really stumped.
No, yeah, I agree. It could be. I would think it would be Ryan Reynolds. With the spousal privilege, my opinion, and a little girl attorney and Nag may have a different view, but like I would have said that wouldn't apply because he wouldn't be there in his personal capacity. He would be there in the capacity as CEO of Vanzan.
That was my guess, but I don't know for sure.
Like they can
I don't know for sure.
If they prepare them and they're well versed on the facts of the case or whatever, and have access to the, are able to like read the whole documentation. There was another good comment here though, where someone said that they wanted to know how one of the questions should be about like, how did Lively know about the, or how did Vanzan's lawyers know about Lively's deposition? Again, I think that was a slip up, and that's a good question.
Yeah. So obviously we know who the key players are: Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and Stephanie Jones. So I won't go into that. It was just for prettiness. The explosive evidence. Text messages from Jen Abel and Melissa Nathan alleged to reveal a coordinated negative publicity campaign against Lively, something she called smoking gun evidence. Central evidence. Text became the cornerstone of Lively's defamation and harassment claims, providing ammunition for a legal war. Secret seizure. The subpoenaed devices and data were surrendered without Baldoni's knowledge, a blindside attack. So legal experts sound the alarm. I've quoted Friedman here. This was done in bad faith and constitutes a flagrant abuse of process. This lawsuit is nothing more than a sham designed to bypass legal oversight. And he's spot on. Legal expert analysis. Leading legal commentators describe the tactic as super shady, calling it an end around designed to secretly obtain evidence through procedural manipulation. And that's a pretty accurate description, I think. So Juliana makes a good point. Will Ryan just say, I don't know what happened before I took over? Probably. So, I mean, there was like, I will get to those slides, but there was a company that specifically provides a name for secret filings called LS Incorporation. They were the original incorporators of Vanzan. In theory, the evidence or information could be obtained from them. It may be one of them that turns up. I doubt it, but it is a possibility.
Or like the agent of the registered agent.
Yeah. Lively's lawyers. So
I put a link because not actually Golden. She posted it on her YouTube. It's 2 hours or an hour and 57 minutes. So I put the link if you guys want to see that, because people are saying that they definitely that they talked about this or answered these questions. So definitely check them out.
Yeah. Okay. And Christina put a link in the chat.
Oh, thank you, Christina.
So Ezra Hudson and Mike Gottlieb, their opinion, they assert that lawsuit and subpoena are common and entirely appropriate legal procedures. Defending their clients' investigative methods. Their justification. They argue it represents a conscientious and thorough investigation into systemic online attacks targeting their clients' reputation and career. And they vehemently deny any wrongdoing or abuse of legal process, maintaining their actions were within ethical bounds.
Well, when you have no ethics, I guess you can say that.
Yeah, exactly. So it raised some broader legal and ethical implications. Obviously, there was a transparency. The use of Doe lawsuits to gain subpoena power without notifying targets, that raised fundamental questions about legal transparency. Abuse potential creates dangerous potential for misuse of subpoenas to obtain private data covertly, circumventing normal protections. And then there's judicial balance. Courts face mounting challenges to balance legitimate discovery rights with protecting parties from abusive tactics. So, because we weren't sure how much of these slides we were going to use. Is there anything on your slides, Cassidy, that you wanted to use?
No, mine was more like before this. Mine was the introduction of like how we first saw. Yeah, I didn't get super far, but I am working on a documentary style video of the story.
Yeah,
and it's going to take a bit though. But yeah, this was just like the intro. This would have been like before where yours picked up.
Okay. Do you want me to go to the next slide?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was just wait, I had printed out the
I mean, I have slides too. I don't know if you saw them, Cassidy, when I sent them to you the other day, but when you asked if I had anything on Vanzan, I was like,
oh, yeah.
On Vanzan, I have like 30 slides on Vanzan. But because it was for one of my videos that was taken down, but I keep adding to it. But I think you're covering it pretty good, Leanne. I mean, my stuff is like, I have the copies of like the filings, like the business records, and just the fact that Margarita, the lawyer for Vanzan, said that this was all like publicly available information, like who the officers are. She said that like, and that actually is not true. They did not file that until 4 days later. So I'm just like, why do they keep lying to the court? And no one files like a notice of candor to the court to correct themselves ever in this case. I guess they don't have to.
They keep getting away with it.
Yep.
Yeah, they do.
So mine was just like the beginning. So before anyone knew even about the CRD complaint, we couldn't know about that because those are private filings. We can't get access to those. We only have access to it because it turned up later in a lawsuit. But it starts with the New York Times article, which makes this statement that her filing includes excerpts from thousands of pages of text messages and emails that she obtained through a subpoena. These and other documents were reviewed by the New York Times. So this is the first thing that we hear. And in the footnote, she has this statement that says, I'm clicking back and forth between that it was obtained through legal process, including a civil subpoena. So when you have the word including, that means there's something else, right? And we've never heard what that something else is. But in order to have a subpoena, there has to be a lawsuit. So as soon as I heard this, I'm like, well, what lawsuit did it come from? Because this was all filed before a lawsuit. This was all given to New York Times well before the CRD complaint. Leanne's the one who discovered that New York Times had some of this stuff as early as October. So what subpoena? And then that became a huge question. I did a bunch of videos about that. And so then in her next complaint, after the CRD, now she's got an actual lawsuit. That footnote changes a little bit, and it says Miss Lively obtained the communication set forth in this complaint through legal process, including a civil subpoena served. Now we find out, oh, it's Jones Works. So a subpoena served to Jones Works. But how does Jones Works have access to all this information? Like, how did they have it? And what were these other process? Because she says including, and we still don't know what those were. And then the amended complaint goes even further. It repeats what we already know, legal process, including a civil subpoena. Then it says, Jones Works produced the communication to Miss Lively in connection with a lawful subpoena. And so at this point, everyone's like, where's this subpoena? And then Vanzan comes, everybody finds out about Vanzan. And then it puts this in there. And I felt like this was a little disclaimer trying to keep Blake out of trouble. Miss Lively has understood the produced documents and communications to have been lawfully obtained, maintained, and produced by Jones Works. So you could tell like they're already starting to get a little bit nervous at that point about what they have.
Do you know, I took that sentence, you know, when there was a whole back and forth of, well, who chopped and spliced these text messages, who altered them? Mm-hmm. I took that particular, the line in pink, to be Lively saying, look, I just got them in the way they are from Jones Works. So, you know, if anything's been altered, it's not me, it's her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt like this sentence was put in because they started to realize, oh, we might have some trouble here. And that was like meant to keep Blake out of trouble.
And it does seem kind of strange to me that they keep saying a lawful subpoena. It's been lawfully obtained. It's like, it's like there was a hotel like in this like area of my town. It was called like the Happy Hotel. And I was like, that is the most unhappy hotel. Like if you're calling yourself the Happy Hotel, like that is where all the bad stuff happens. You know? That's what it feels like. It's like, why are you having
lawful? Why are you putting that qualifying word there? All subpoenas should be lawful. So why are you saying lawful? I mean, are we going to say it's a lawful lawsuit? It's crazy.
The non-sham subpoenas.
The subpoena that's totally not a sham.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I had on here. That was if you want to put something else up now. But
sorry, this made me laugh. Girlie Ezra has a footnote fetish. Yeah. Oh my gosh, she does huge footnotes, doesn't she?
She does. And I think because when they're limited on some of the things that the letters and stuff that they submit to the court, they're limited on how many pages it can be. So I feel like when she has more to say, she just makes huge footnotes because they're in smaller font. And so she can fit more words without passing her page limit.
Yeah.
So that's what it seems like to me.
House of Chatter. In theory, they could get the lawyer to testify, Samantha Katz, who issued the Vanzan lawsuit. I don't think they will, though, because
privilege.
It's privilege. It's attorney-client privilege. So, I think it'll be a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Continue, Cassidy. Sorry.
That was it. That was the end of them. So, yeah, I didn't get very far. Yeah.
Shanonos, thank you. What bothers me is when Vanzan lawyers say we are a non-party, we have nothing to do. Do you know, isn't that wild? Right, it is when they do that.
You were the start of the whole thing, Vanzan.
You're not a non-party. We were a non-party.
Yeah.
You are in the thick of all of this. If this is true, then how in the world were you able to get Jen Abel's phone?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we all know the answer, but what is their answer going to be? That's a really, really good question. I would love to be the fly on the wall.
Of all depositions.
That was the craziest filing to me, is when Lively's attorneys like wrote that letter saying like Lively is not Vanzan. Like we don't represent Vanzan. Remember, it was like on the Jones docket, and it was like, you don't go here. Why are you saying this? And now it's even more crazy because it's like, are you throwing Vanzan under the bus? That means you're throwing yourself under the bus, and then you're also throwing Jones under the bus, and that's like your only alibi here, or not alibi, but your only ally in this case. So
if it gets down to it, they're going to totally throw each other under the bus.
I think they're going to have to, or unless they're going to throw Samantha Katz and say she went rogue and did this or something, which I don't think they could do that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mess, that's for sure.
It is. Sorry, did you have any more you wanted to say about it on your slides?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take it down now.
Okay. So I have these. So we obviously have the history, don't we, of I'll tell you what, I'll find it now, actually.
And Tiffany says, remember when her lawyers said, doubled down, saying it was a lawful subpoena? Yeah. And it was a deadline was the article. And I have that in one of my slides. I can tell you what exactly they said. They said it was a lawful like discovery tool. Hold on, I have it. It was in deadline.
Yeah, you should put your stuff up too.
Yeah, so they said, okay, so this was the quote. It said, the Lively parties acted upon reliable information and employed common tools such as a Doe lawsuit and civil subpoenas that are entirely lawful and appropriate for pursuing claims and uncovering the identity of unknown perpetrators of unlawful activities. Hudson
but
and
what
Godwin,
identity?
The what?
What identity? But what identity did she?
Exactly.
Uncover.
Exactly. Identity of unknown perpetrators of unlawful activities. Hudson and Gottlieb go on to say, pointing out what the result was. This lawsuit unearthed the Wayfarer party's documented plan, in their own words, in their own text messages, to, quote, destroy Blake Lively, a plan which they executed without transparency, disclosure, or notice to Miss Lively or the public, instead acting in a way they thought would be, quote, untraceable. We have absolutely nothing to hide. Miss Lively voluntarily disclosed the subpoena in her first filing, knowing that it would ultimately be produced to the Wayfarer parties in discovery, and that is precisely what will happen as Lively's claims move forward in the proper litigation process.
Mm-hmm.
We have nothing to hide. That means you have something to hide. And again, the untraceable. It's like I've been saying, the only thing untraceable in this whole lawsuit, I think, was Vanzan. Like their whole goal in this whole thing was meant to be untraceable, in my opinion.
Yep. I think they never thought that they would be discovered.
No.
Exactly.
No, I 100% agree. Which makes it curious then, how did Daily Mail get hold of that subpoena? Who gave it to them?
Who gave it?
Didn't someone say it was Stephanie Jones that gave it to them?
I would bet Stephanie Jones.
But I don't know that it was ever proven. Was it?
It's not been proven, no. But I would say, like, because I can't see Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds wanting this to, the identity of Vanzan to then start the questions and everything.
I could see it being Jones, to be like, I don't just like, turn over my clients unless I'm subpoenaed. Like, it was valid. I could just see her, and she definitely has her sources at Daily Mail. So I could see it being her.
I could see it being Jones as well, because at the end of the day, she was being accused of lying about there being a subpoena anyway. So she had to, she stood to lose, really. She had to prove that there was a subpoena.
Which she didn't fight back at all.
Yeah.
Or even alert anyone that their information was under threat of being turned over. She could have fought and won to stop that subpoena, but she was in cahoots, and that's absolutely obvious.
House of Chatter, could they make the New York Times testify? They could. They may well be doing that as well. We just don't know for sure right now. But the fact that the New York Times, Ryan Reynolds, Leslie Sloan, all that the claims against them were dismissed does not mean that they're not fair game for discovery.
As a witness, yeah.
Yeah. So
I
here,
was so mad when the judge granted their stay of discovery.
I know.
Like
Yeah.
they had important information.
Oh, you're right. KKB says that reporter said it was from Jones, but they weren't allowed to show it. Oh yeah, Vistuka or whatever his name, James Vistuka, Vituska. Yeah, he said that it was from Jones. He had a lot to say about Stephanie Jones.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how trustworthy of a source he is, unfortunately, but I like to believe that.
Yeah. So this is the history of Vanzan. This is the original certificate of incorporation, and I'm gonna have to go on the actual page. So at the bottom there is the incorporator, which is listed as Celeste Rhine. She actually works for a company called LS Incorporation Services. And when I did this originally back in June, because I did this 1st of July, this post is. When I did this back in July, I was like, oh, LS Incorporation, is that Leslie Sloan? That crossed my mind.
Mm.
But it's it's actually a company. It's run by a lady called Lisa Soria, and they, as you can see, actually, Celeste Rhine is a subcontractor. They actually offer fictitious business name filings as part of their services.
Wow.
Yeah,
I never did a deep dive into all this.
No, it was quite interesting. So if we go back to the original document, so where you got ML Management Associates, they provide an address. So the person who's incorporating the entity, the business, does not have to provide like their own home address.
Mm-hmm.
And everything can be all like posts and everything can be sent to this address.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how my LLC is set up.
Exactly.
And both of the Vanzans are set up for ML management. Or
they
whatever.
are, and I'll show you a link between ML Management and Leslie Sloan's company. But LS Incorporation do the same thing, but they do it for the business name. So they will substitute themselves instead of either Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds, whoever was the incorporator of Vanzan at the time of the Vanzan lawsuit. What happened on the 30th of June is irrelevant. It is who was overseeing the company back in September last year. Oh, that GIF. oh. So obviously we have Ryan Reynolds as of the 30th of June. He is now listed as CEO. ML Management are still the care of address. This is an excerpt from a different lawsuit where there's an employment dispute. Someone who worked for the company, but Vision PR and ML Management were joint employers and or an integrated employer / enterprise. So there is a link between Vision PR and ML Management, who are the kind of address, so to speak, the management address for Vanzans. If you file, so if you use a company like LS Incorporation, you still have to register. You can find it's perfectly legal to register a business under a fictitious name, but you have to have a certificate of assumed name and file it with the New York State Department of State. So that's the rule under Section 402 of the Business Corporation Law. And that's the history of Vanzan and who was kind of the named person in charge. And that's why I said maybe someone from LS Incorporation, maybe the Celeste Rhine.
I don't think, I mean, they just incorporate, they do the paperwork for the LLC. I mean, or for the, these shell companies. I don't think that they could would know the, the issue between this contract, this like sham lawsuit. And I don't think it would be her, honestly.
No.
I think they're going to have it be said that they want it to be, I think it's going to end up being a lawyer or, Ryan Reynolds is who NAG thinks is going to be.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't know.
And he's cocky enough to think that he can do it and be so smart about it.
Exactly.
That always happens. They're the ones that always take the stand and think they're going to win while their attorneys are begging them not to. And then they get up there and blow it.
So in this last motion, how they were arguing how even if everything is, true that Lively says, legally it's not, she doesn't have a case. And I'm surprised they didn't bring up anything then about Vanzan, in it at all, because what they did, I think it doesn't, I mean, you can't use this discovery, right? It was obtained illegally.
And I've seen a lot of people make the mistaken statement that because in criminal law, it's called fruit of the poisonous tree, and it cannot be used. And there is something people say, oh, well, but that's criminal. It's not so with civil, but it can be so with civil as well. If you've used abusive process to get this information, you can have it ruled out. And I've seen so many people say, in civil, it's not, in civil, you can use it. But no, this could absolutely be stricken. And without any of this stuff, all of her claims go bye-bye. Yeah. So I just wonder, are they holding out on this Vanzan stuff for a completely separate lawsuit somewhere outside of New York and outside of Judge Lyman? I
hope so.
I hope so too, because this is not the place for it, and that is not the judge for it.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a very.
I hope you do it in California. Mm-hmm.
I think something's coming because Friedman said they will be, exploring all legal avenues available to them.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much, but I think they're reserving it in here because I think they probably feel that they're not going to get anywhere with Lyman anyway. So, what is the point?
What's the point?
I mean, maybe because Dan had to, has to do with the discovery, so they're saving it also to bring up for the motion for summary judgment. I mean, I don't know.
It could be.
I don't know exactly.
But it's still it makes.
As he started throwing around criminal laws, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
The moment I saw that, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
House of Chatter, will they be able to bring the New York metadata and Vanzan? I think it was, yes, it will form part of it because I think they'll look at the proximity. So you had, was it the 21st of August was the day? I haven't got the
time. The 21st is
August
21st. The phone was seized, and then the alleged phone call
from Leslie
Sloan.
And also August 21st was the email to Sarowitz that I think was Stephanie Jones telling on herself. It was completely deranged after they basically told her, we don't want you to touch anything. Don't respond to anyone. We don't care about your thoughts and ideas. Stand down. And she writes this crazy email to Sarowitz on August 21st. So August 21st, I think she was going cuckoo.
Going crazy. Yeah.
And then you had obviously the filing of Vanzan on the 27th of September. The subpoena was served on the 1st of October, and then by the 31st of October, I had to think about the metadata date then. By the 31st of October, the New York Times had the basically the fruit of that subpoena. They had it.
And why the New York Times, who has an entire humongous legal section, why they thought that information was okay to print, I'll never understand. No. They just get away with too much. They really do.
Yeah, and Megan too, is on, what was it, NPR did that interview where she said, Blake Lively's told me, when we were talking about it, that she's been through so much worse or whatever. And I was like, wait, so you were talking with her when you said this was all from the CRD. Now you're saying you spoke with her about this.
Yeah.
So huge question. That how is that proof? You know,
and the
falls under
article even said thousands of pages of text. Well, the CRD complaint is not thousands of pages. So
No.
you are not basing this on a judicial proceeding. They should have never been dismissed like they were.
No.
It
No,
was
I think that was a mistake, and I think
huge
it's
mistake.
appealable, definitely.
Yep.
Shanonas, thank you. It had to be Steph Jones that gave the subpoena to Daily Mail. I completely agree with that. I very strongly think it's Stephanie Jones has got the most reason to want to give have that subpoena out in the public. Her lawyers were making the media talk, yes, saying we got a valid subpoena at the same time the articles come out, trying to give super chat to each you.
Oh, thank you.
Sweet.
That's so generous.
Yeah,
I'm not monetized, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
I completely agree with that. I think
she's the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. And you know, I feel like anything that's like she's kind of her fingerprints are all over this whole thing. And I think I really do think that she convinced Lively to fight her fight for her. Because like these were her enemies before they were Lively's. I don't even think Lively had any idea who any of these people were. You know, like Tag and whatever. I think so, you know, I mean, I don't know, but I just think that I wish we had that conversation.
I agree.
So we've had we're now fast forward a year. What a wild year.
Yeah.
It's been super bumpy.
Yeah, but how poetic was that to get like these Vanzan filings, or you know, to right before Vanzan Day, and
on
then
this day,
just what a great, it's just very
best
poetic.
gift.
Yeah, how festive.
I don't know. I can see the chat talking about Elsie, and I'm going to just say, right, I watched a video from Elsie. It was she was having a right go at the tone of the lawyer for Vanzan, the way he was talking to Kevin Fritz in the emails, and I was just it was so hilarious. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I haven't seen that one yet. I
gotta find it because it was so funny.
It's hilarious. I feel like she could be famous one day. Like we're gonna see her on TV. I mean, she is so funny.
I agree.
I adore her. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to call it. We've been 2 hours.
Looking for this video.
What's that?
Well worth a watch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it.
Yeah, I'm definitely want to check it out. And I agree. That's the silver lining, I think, for you know, for all the bad things, in my opinion, that like live or you know, like revenge type things like Lively tried to do, like silence the creators, in my opinion. Now I'm just so glad that I got to like see all these people, like Ken's from Existing to Thrive. I mean, I think she is hilarious. There's just, it brought to light these people that I wouldn't have even known about. Janessa, astrology. I mean, I really want to know what was in the stars on, you know, during August 2024, because that's where it seems like everything went crazy then.
I don't know if you also hit him with John Vanzan's written objections.
I'll go back into it.
If you send me a fucking email like this first thing in the morning, no salutation, no nothing, talking about we've told you on multiple occasions, who the fuck are you talking to? Because it's not me. I know it's not me you're talking to. He could have said the same thing and said, Kevin, we mentioned on multiple occasions, and that would have been appropriate. We told you on multiple occasions. I don't know, Kevin also hit him with John Vanzan's written objections, but again, that wasn't hostile. We've told you on multiple occasions, like, I'm not your fucking child. I'm not your fucking son. Don't son me. Like, you're sonning him right there. Don't do that. No, I don't want to hear nothing you have to say after that. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds got these lawyers walking around here with all kinds of superpowers they think they got and they don't got. Kevin, we've told you on multiple occasions, bitch, where? Who the fuck are you talking to? Try again. Try the fuck again. Y'all got me fucked up on this docket. The long and short of the story is Vanzan is talking about the Wayfair parties just did this to get in front of the judge. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off.
I love her. She tells it like it is.
Yeah,
That
That's
made
a
me laugh.
perfect mic drop, is Elsie always.
Always.
That was
All
yeah.
right, I'm gonna say goodbye now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
thanks for spending Vanzan Sham Day with us.
Yes,
And
thank you.
I told someone in comments the other day, like, it's not just the creators that are making sure the story gets out, since mainstream media is not putting it out, but it's everybody who supports us, all of you guys who view us, and
send us stuff as well. People who send us stuff.
Send us information to report on. Yeah, but just keeping the numbers going, and it doesn't matter who, whichever creators you like to support, it helps keep it going, getting it out there, and eventually the story is going to break. It's going to have to, and you guys are just as important as those of us who report on it.
I totally agree. Like every single like and upvote, there's some amazing people in the community who'll just they'll comment on the video because they know it helps with the algorithm, and they're just so appreciative.
The algorithm, and it's so nice.
Yeah, definitely.
And of course the mods, like Christina and Laura and Haley, everyone who's every single time we stream about this, and they probably know more about this case than anyone. From all the different.
I gotta give a kind of a special shout out as well to my mods, because I don't have like a routine. I don't have a set time. I just, if something comes up and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go live, then it can be like no notice, and I'm amazed they drop their life, they drop whatever they're doing, and they turn up, and I can't thank them enough. So and they do it for nothing as well. So, we'd be lost without them.
Yep. I always feel, I'm like, I know it's late and you had no warning. Don't feel bad if you can't come, because that's me. I never have. And if I set a schedule for myself, then I stress about it. And so I'm just wired different.
Millennial Mum has sent a super sticker. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for sharing that link, Christina, to Not Actually Golden and Little Girl Attorney. All right, guys, thanks so much. And I don't know if you guys are going to stay on, but I've got to go.
I'm going now too.
Wonderful rest of the weekend. How do I just close? Do I just close?
I don't know. I think so. I'm going to end the stream now anyway. So thank you, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Happy Van Sham Day.
Happy Van Sham Day.